How you guys doing? Hey, Neff and John and Abdul and Big Sal. Hi, Koji. Hey, Rancher. Rancher, I left you a little note. You'll understand. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Dominic, how you doing? Is the sound okay in the video? Hi, Nino, Neff. Having a nice greeting day, I see. Okie doke. um, got a story, another watch buying story for you. And oh, ready for the storm, man. Oh boy. It is, let me see. It's 5 degrees Fahrenheit here, which is I don't know what it is elsewhere. My wife went out to feed her birds. It was just like super cold. 5 degrees, that's crazy. And it's sunny. Most people say, well, it's sunny, that's a good thing. What happens is, especially at night, if you got a clear night and there are a lot of there are no clouds, and you're talking about cold, what happens is that the cloud cover a lot of times will keep some of the warmer air in overnight. Not last night. It was cold. So anyway, hey William, how you doing? Okay, Rancher. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Anyway, uh, let me talk about the watch story that I have. And the watch story relates to a lot of hidden cost, okay, in buying a watch. Now, uh, this particular story has to do with a watch that was international. It's a watch I got from Japan, and it's a Swiss watch. It wasn't like a new one by a long shot. And what happened was that this was a watch I felt would go well with my collection. And so I was poking around. You know how it is when you're buying a watch. Yeah, should I do that or not? And this one seemed to be at a good price, and the collection it fit in was a relatively, I'll put it this way, very exclusive membership. So, finding watches, with the membership criteria isn't easy, and so this one comes along, and the price was sort of like well within range. I mean, it was under 2,000, and, uh, so, it was one of these guys who put on, Chrono 24. They'll say fixed price. In other words, don't try to don't try to negotiate with me. And when I see something like that, I don't. I just figure because I tried in the past and get a big zero. And so I thought, well, okay, well, this was a pretty good deal anyway. So I sent the guy a note, and I couldn't the I could sort of see the movement, but it wasn't a very clear picture of it. It was one of those watches, the movement was sort of like, when you have a picture of it like this, is that in the foreground you have the band, and then the background you have you can barely see the thing. And so I thought, well, hey, could you give me a better shot of the movement? Okay, so the guy sent me. Uh, this is in Japan, by the way. And so the guy sends me uh, two are three pictures of the front and then close-ups, really good picture, very sharp pictures. And one of the things that I've noticed about the Japanese is that when they show a watch for sale, this is at least on Chrono 24, they're very honest about the condition of the watch. And this watch was described as fair. Uh, if very good watches they define as good and so on and so forth. And so, I wasn't too concerned about the watch looking fair. So he sent me these close-ups, and there were some scratches on it and stuff. And when I get it, I'm gonna have to do some work to try to get rid of some of the deeper gouges. And so anyway, uh, the so I asked the guy for that, and then he drops the price by $300. I didn't ask him or anything. I just wanted to see a picture of the back. And what I think is that the guy was thinking, "Aha, okay, he's wise to the fact that it's not an in-house movement." Um, and so, he drops it. I wouldn't, I was ready to go with the original price, but I'm glad he did drop it. It was sort of a motivator. So the all right, so you go through and you make a deal and hit the old buy button. But this is what surprised me. Okay, let me just start with it. Now, right now, there's sales tax. There's sales tax on most states have sales tax. And some countries have VAT and all kinds of other there are types of taxes. But the US has sales tax state by state. Like I got some kids in Oregon, and their family they have no sales tax in Oregon. That's their big thing. And if I had something like $100,000 watch, I'd have it sent to Oregon. It makes more sense. But Connecticut has a state sales tax of 6.35%. They don't have New York. You have state sales tax, and New York City has city sales tax. So I mean, the taxes there are a bit higher. Okay, so they had a sales tax of 6.35%. That's not bad. It really isn't. But they charge. This is Chrono 24, and this has happened before. They had a charge of 7.75%. Now that's saying, wait a minute, that's not a lot, but on a more expensive watch it would be a whole lot. On the particular watch I bought, it was simply an additional fee of $20. Okay, all right. Now the next thing was the conversion of yen to US dollars. And this was something, so I went into, online, you go to your uh, uh, currency conversion. So I went there and I put in a number of yen and it came out with a certain price. The price that they came out with was $20 more. So here I got nicked $20 more. First of all, for the up in the sales tax, and then for, I guess, perhaps a conversion fee or something like that. I don't know what it was. But like I said, for the amount we're talking, 20 bucks. Now we got $40. And uh I figured out, well, if this had been like a $15,000 watch, just that little amount would have been $210. And for these little differences. And so I guess what we're looking at is that this can get going. Now, earlier back in November, I got a really nice buy on a Roger Dubuis Sympathy. It was a model Sympathy that looks like almost like an easy diver, and it really got a good buy on it. It turned out to be a very good watch, excellent watch, as a matter of fact. And going through eBay, which I really like to do. Now, this was not international, but rather, somebody here in the U.S. And so they charged a sales tax, which was fine. I don't think they added another, a point and a half or whatever it was that was added by Chrono 24. Okay. So those were the, those were the those are the recent things. Koji, I just noticed the thing that Koji has on the list there. He says, "I got charged a COVID surcharge recently on a clothing purchase." Wow, now that you know why that doesn't surprise me? I had when I tried to get a watch from Poland, early in the pandemic, uh, I was told that they couldn't ship from Poland to the US directly because of COVID, you know? But a COVID surcharge, you know, yeah, um, that could be a lot. Um, yeah, I know in Europe they got a 19% VAT, which is way more than we pay. I realize that, and the Swiss have, I think the Swiss have about 9%, something like that. I'm not positive, but I know that in England and Canada and Europe, it's about the VAT is about 19-20%, something like that. Um, Yeah, Dominic, I don't like anything hidden either. I agree with that. But the thing of it is that you have now these are hidden charges. The thing about the VAT and sales tax, you can see that thing coming. And but these other little things that are added to it, those aren't part of the bargain. I mean, when you buy a watch, if you don't figure in the sales tax, you're not figuring in the real price. Now, here's the irony of this all. The guy didn't charge shipping. We said free shipping, and free shipping from Japan is, uh, probably one of the more expensive ones would be my guess. But this guy had free shipping. So anyway, this story isn't over yet because it's going to be over when I get this thing. So anyway, so then it gets to customs, US customs, and I always dread it when things go through customs for two reasons. One is what's it called? CITES, CITES. That it's going to have a gator ban or something that they're not going to let through sites. That's one thing. The other thing is, God knows what they're going to charge. Now, for this watch, it was about like $98, okay, for that, which is for customs, which was a little more than I thought because the watch was not that expensive. And so okay, didn't kill me. But the good thing about it was, and this is funny, it was being shipped by DHL. Now, in the past, I've had a lot of things with FedEx. FedEx gets to the border, and it's like what do they call it? An exception. Your thing is held up there and accept. Well, what are you going to do? So anyway, that happened, and so here goes this stupid exception. There wasn't. DHL said, "Okay, this is your customs, whatever they charge in customs. Click this button to pay," and I did, and it paid, and it was boop, okay, back on track again. I mean, that thing didn't lose anything, and so I mean, this is a good thing about it. If ship it overseas, and I think um oh, what's the name of it? The shipping company that makes, oh, Big Brown, I forgot the name. Anyway, they also have something similar. It was very easy with them, but it was hard with FedEx. And I don't know, maybe they solved it, but I tell you, during this, I mean, it's enough stuff going on, with any kind of world transfers that geez, so anyway, I'll find out when I get my watch what it's gonna be like. Oh my goodness. Hi, Canadian Watch Muck. Any uh, brand headlights, Andy Candy. These are guys that added loose tooth. Hi. Oh, okay. Anybody else I haven't? Hi, Patrick Roos. Let's see. Neff says that, no, Patrick says 7% is great. every watch I buy needs 25% sales tax. Actually, it wasn't 7%, it was 7.75%. I realize that that's not much compared to these VAT taxes, either 10 or 20 or 25%. But when your tax is 6.35% and they jack it up, it's like, what's going on there? And I'm sure they'll say something like, well, it takes this extra paperwork or this or that. Okay, that's probably what it is. Hi, Stephen. How you doing? Alex, how are you? Koji, let's see. Auction houses usually tack on additional 25. Yeah, Koji, I got to tell you something about auction houses. You know that coming into it, though. This is the difference between auction houses. You're right, by the way. If you buy something for $4,000, that's the hammer price. You're going to pay 5,000 before it even leaves. And on top of that, when I got a watch on an auction from Geneva, there was a Geneva auction, and I think it was this year. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. And they sent it. To me with I think it was like $250 for shipping, okay? So it was like whoop, 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 and, it came through okay, though, that was the good part. Hey, Hater, how you doing, man? Uh, okay, certain custom chargers go by the numbers of jewels in a watch. I know. Yeah, John, they have the ones at least into the United States, they have the kinds of things you have to put down. What you get nailed on is the case, and you get nailed more for a stainless steel case than you do a gold case, at least tax wise. The reason for that is I think at one time the they said, well, we're trying to sell stainless steel watches, but we're not trying to sell gold watches. So we're going to have a higher tax on stainless steel watches. I don't think they've changed the way that customs treats watches in 100 years. I really don't. And you're right. They do it by the number of jewels. Well, the jewels are all man-made jewels. I mean, we're not talking about some kind of something out of King Solomon's mine. We're talking about somebody who's got, they make those little rubies um, for pivot points. Anyway, hey, world travel, how you doing? How things in Seattle, where it never rains? Yeah, man, I tell you, we are praying for rain. There's this giant storm that's tearing up the whole country right now, and there's a what? They're expecting, I guess, out here Monday. That thing is it's over the Midwest right now, and then it's gonna go down and visit the South and through Mississippi and Alabama and Florida and Georgia, and then they're gonna gather up all of this moisture, and then it's gonna come up to us on Monday. And they don't know whether is and then the Canadian air coming down nice and cold. So either the heat from the tropical moisture or the cold from Canada, one of the two. But we're hoping for rain, a lot of rain. Otherwise, we got a lot of snow. Uh, let's see. Catawink adds 19% on top of what you buy when you sell. Yeah, is Catawink something like is that something like an auction, Abdul? Yeah, synthetic jewels. You're right, Alex. Ah, okay. Is a carryover from protecting U.S. watchmaking from decades ago. Yeah, loose tooth. That's exactly what it is. And they have the thing to do if you're ever if you're ever getting a watch coming to the country, and they say what percent is the movement, what percent is the case, put about 99% the movement, and then you're not going to get hit up with much. And I think I think there's also a funny little tariff on bands. You don't want definitely don't have a gator band. Have a either a metal or a cowhide band, but any other kind of thing, man, you're dealing with sites. There's some watches, thank goodness they get they put all the sites paperwork together. And when you get it, it's passes through sites without a problem. But a lot of times, somebody's got a used watch with a farm gator band. They're not going to have the paperwork. Usually, the best thing to do is take the band off and send it separately, just in case it gets stopped. And at least you get the watch. Storm is skirting around my state from north to south. Blizzards don't even want to come here. It's not only is a flyover state, it's a storm over state. Hi Pepsi C, how you doing, man? I bought a fake Omega Seamaster through Katawiki, and they were very fast in refunding me the amount once I discovered it's fake. Yeah, that's good. Hey, this is something that, speaking of that, what the way that Chrono 24 works, or Chrono 20, I forget one of the two. Anyway, the way they work is that they keep your funds in escrow until you receive it. And then you look at it and then you click a button and then it releases the payment. I like that. I mean, well, I like it okay. But what I really like is the way that eBay does it. It goes from the seller and then it goes to someone who, what they call an authenticator. And the good thing about the authenticator is that if, once it goes through the authenticator, and if it's what the person says they're selling you, then they'll release the funds and then they send you the watch. But they send you the watch in a really cool box and everything. So, a lot of stuff you get doesn't have boxes or papers or anything. And this is a way to handle that. Okay. All right. Let's see some other stuff. What have you guys had? Let's see. You got they had 2 weeks of non-stops. Oh boy. Geez. Now it's sunny and around zero. Yeah, we're about, I don't know what 5 degrees is in Celsius, but it's way below zero as far as Celsius is concerned. Uh, I've also brought dealers, always perfect quality. Anyone in U.S. Buy use Chrono 24 to buy from U.S. seller and get charged credit card foreign transaction fee. Loose tooth, that happened to me too. Some time ago, there was a big fat fee on that. Yeah, that can happen, believe me. And it's not a matter of from Germany. I think it's from anywhere. They do that. This time, my bank may still hit me up with more than what I what I was charged. In fact, it could happen, well, just once, I think, because the it was someplace in the US where it was, and then where it went through customs. Boy, they must have that awfully streamlined because now you can pay it off with just hitting the button, and I like that. I mean, not that I like paying for it. In some places, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, in Canada has, if you buy something from Switzerland, the there's no customs charges on anything from Switzerland, but there is the 25 or 20% VAT that Canadians have, and that's sort of a good deal. They made some kind of deal. They have similar situations. The explanations of why the Swiss are Swiss and because they don't have anything to do in the wintertime, that could apply to Canada too. So, in fact, their winters are probably in a lot of ways more severe. Um, Toronto is minus 22. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, that sounds like about what it would be here, Pepsi. Yeah. The coldest we have had here was minus 33 a couple years ago. I hope not to experience that again. Wow, that is cold. Yeah, we're right now, it's like I have 5 degrees. It's crazy. I recently tried to buy a watch from the Middle East, and it got here and was sent back to the seller. My agent, the seller, shipper, and Chrono 24 all sat around and pointed the finger at each other. Yeah, I had a deal that totally blew up because of, the way all of these little extra things that Chrono 24 added it right out of what I could put on my card. And I just thought like, "Hey, you shot yourself in the foot on this one because you get nothing now, and I don't get my watch." Try T33, yeah, my contacts froze and oh, man, that's awful. Mm. I I have a I have a plan, for I stay inside when it gets really cold. I got this big fur hat from, Finland that I got when I was there, and boy, those guys know how to stay warm. That hat, put that thing on and, it's great. I noticed there are a lot of luxury watches coming out of Turkey on, Katawiki. Does anyone, have any buying experience from there? Their prices are way lower than usual. Looks fishy. Um Okay, you guys, Rancher and Neff, you guys behave yourselves. Okay, let's see. Off that off well. Oh man. Okay. All right. So anyway, so those are some things. Let me see if there was anything else that I had. No, that was the main thing. Now those, like I said, those are hidden charges. And I you know, the alternative say, well, what you can do, for example, buying from Japan. They said, "Well, what you can do is just, send us a a wire, and that'll take care of it." And I tell you, I probably should have. That would have probably been a good move. A lot of people say, "Oh, that's don't ever send anything by wire," and that's probably generally a good thing unless you know, unless you know who you're dealing with, and then it can save you a lot. Okay, all right, people are losing fingers and toes and everything else to frostbite. Maybe we shouldn't have brought that up. Hi, Mike, what's up? Is there any watch you currently own or looking to sell or trade? I've never sold a watch anywhere. It looks like too much of a headache. Yeah, Mike, there is, and right now is a great seller's market. Uh, I like selling through, auctions. People go crazy at auctions. That's good for the seller, it's not good for the buyer. Um, and you get the hammer price, so you don't get that extra 25% that they add on to it. My god, somebody buying, a $100,000 watch, you're talking about $25,000 that the auction house adds to that. And I thought, "Man, geez." So, I mean, people pay it. I mean, if they're gonna pay 100,000, they'll pay 125,000. Lots of watches from Japan due to old age and Corvus 19. Okay, maybe that's why I got a good deal on the one I got. Oh my god, that's terrible. The people are dropping off in Japan because of the pandemic, and so that's a watch deal. So, oh boy, there's a plague. I'm gonna buy watches from plague victims. I was thinking that the, Patek Philippe Tiffany, 25% on top of millions. Yeah, I know, Koji. That is nuts. I mean, some of these charges, were the ones lately I've been, keeping it way down, after I bought the, earlier this year when I got my, what's that I got? It was a, Urban Jurgensen. Now, even though I got that at almost half price of what Urban Jurgensen is still a lot. And so that was sort of my big one. Now, oddly enough, I got that from a dealer here in the US. The only way I could get it was to wire the money, and I knew where the guy lived. Like, "How are you? Give me it back." Got a great deal, free shipping. It was great. It was a great transaction. But, that was a whole lot of money. That sort of cleaned me out for a lot of things. So I gotta sell some more watches. And like I said, I'll probably just go back to, Sotheby's where I sold my last one. I bought one from them, I sold one, and when I sold one, they sold it for a lot more, a lot more, almost double of what I would have expected to get for the watch. So I thought, "Hey, these guys, this is a great place to go." This Delray does that wire only on some watches. You're right, Neff. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it worked out. I mean, it worked out fine. It was, immediate shipping, free shipping, no taxes. It was really a good deal. The real question is, how did Japan acquire all these watches? Well, I don't know if they have any more than anybody else, Alex. I mean, they acquire them like we do. Just about all of my watches are Swiss watches. I have, one from the Netherlands, one from Germany, one from Japan. But, they're like anyone else. They like watches. I mean, buy watches, and I guess, they got, Seiko is a very good watch, a great watch company. But, a lot of times that's not why people buy watches. I want a watch that, that's a special one, and, usually that's gonna be Swiss, sometimes German, sometimes, a lot of and sometimes Japanese. If I could get a Jaime Asoka, I can't afford one, but those would be a one that you're getting it for more than just the functionality of the watch. Uh-oh, frying pan time. Thanks, Koji. Another option is join up with a local watch group. Yeah, that is. Okay, I gotta run. Most auctions, especially live ones, tend to bring a higher price because emotions get in the way of bidding. That's true. That's exactly. Now, if you're selling a watch, that's good for you. Okay, guys. Okay, one last thing. According to the Austin Daniels channel, he says that a lot of watches end up in Japan because that's where sellers can get higher prices. Maybe that's right. That could be it too. Okay, guys, everyone take care. Be safe. A stupid Omicron is now with us. So if you don't have a shot, get one. We got to wear these good masks. I can't wear my mask with a picture of my watch on it anymore. They tell me that cloth masks are no good. UPS, that was the one I couldn't think of. UPS. All right, everyone take care. And 4 o'clock today, what I want to talk about is like ways to get around all of these costs. All right. We'll see you at 4, I hope. Take care.